Wani! Congrats on the album! Yay! It's finally happened. I know it's been a long time. Yeah, I love listening to it. I don't normally go for proper classical music. I find that a lot of the time when it starts getting really technical, it becomes more brainy, and then it just kind of doesn't really do anything for me. But yeah, I found this to be really balanced, and it had a lot of heart to it. But it gave me a new appreciation for the technical aspects that classical music has, especially with Chairman and how it is like a mirror. The song is mirrored, and the process of making it, and like how it pushes you, and how you can just really have some fun with music. I guess if you've been doing it for a long time, you kind of have to entertain yourself. And so yeah, it was really, really insightful, and I really enjoyed it. I'll probably be listening to it for the years to come. So well done.
Hi guys, I am Santosh Logindran. I'm a singer-songwriter and composer, and I'm here to talk about Melodies of Life. Melodies of Life is a very unique and innocent and also honest album. A fan of classical music myself, I think Wani Ismail has done a really, really good job in terms of writing and arranging for her string section and also the piano parts. I really, really love all the songs in the album. They are actually very, very nostalgic, and listening to them, I've listened to it a couple of times already, and it's really, really just a fine piece of art by a very talented Malaysian musician. So I hope you guys enjoy it and listen to the album Melodies of Life. It's out online on Spotify.
Hi everyone, my name is Steven, and I am here to talk about the album Colors of Life. First of all, congratulations Wani on releasing your first album of your own compositions. Well, I've known Wani for a very long time, since our uni years, and I'm really proud of what you have achieved and what you have accomplished in this album. So I actually like the concept of the album Colors of Life, and the reason why is because all 5 pieces and all 5 compositions that's written in the album, they are basically sort of like reflection on the journey of life that maybe the composer herself has been through. And for the listeners, when we listen to them, it feels sort of like it's bringing us through a story of someone who starts with sort of like, you're turning in rounds in the beginning of your life, you're studying, you're going back home, you're doing a lot of homeworks and everything, and then after that you slowly experience the ups and downs of life. That's when we can hear all the different episodes in the Colors of Life, that particular the third piece. And then after that you get like this incredible and melancholic kind of melody in the Lover's Waltz in the 4th piece, and then the final one, which is called Hope, which reminds me a lot of Philip Glass actually. And I think this album is particularly interesting because the writing of the pieces itself, it really tells you something about what you're listening to. Not so much of just simple harmonies and really tuneful melodies. It's more than just that. It's all of those things combined that makes it really special, I think. So I thought that this album is actually a really fascinating and a really intriguing album that has all of the essence of your compositions, Wani. So well done, congratulations again.
Hi everybody, my name is Hari Ram, and I am a Indian classical violinist, and I play South Indian classical music on the violin. I have known Wani for almost about 5-6 years, and we first worked together on a musical called Sands, and ever since then we've been good friends and we've been keeping in touch. And I would like to say that I'm so proud of Wani for creating this album. What I really liked about this album as a whole is the sense of originality, at the same time the familiar tunes and tones, and it definitely inspired me. All her work, I'm sure she has worked really hard on this album. All her work, all her music has inspired me so much, and I just want to wish you congratulations and lots of love, and wishing you all the best for the future.
Congratulations, Wani, for the album. I really enjoyed the album, so I'm gonna share you what I think about the album. What I feel when I went through the whole album was simplicity, raw, so pure, so innocent, but there's a lot of things that are actually going on right there. You have some drama, you have some tragedies, and in some of the song, it really captured a very deep and personal emotions in the whole album, but really well and carefully thought. At one point, I was like, wait, I'm describing Wani Ismail. I always tell people, you get to learn a lot more about the person from their art, from their craft, from the music. Wani doesn't really talk about her personal life, but in this album, there you go. This is so Wani. She really exposed herself to everybody. I couldn't think a better name for this album. Melodies of Life is really captured the whole story of Wani Ismail. Congratulations again.
So, album Melodies of Life by Wani was just an incredible piece, I think. I listened from the beginning to the back, and it was interesting to see the fluctuation of moods and colors that are being portrayed in music. I loved the gradual change from slow and smooth sort of sound to going into more positive and more uplifting sounds, and yeah, it was just incredible listen, and I felt that I can relate to that music, and I can feel at peace while I'm listening to it and actually focus on it and just find peace within it. So it's just I just fell in love with it, to be fair. It was just an incredible piece. Yeah. So my favorite piece of Wani's album was actually a Lover's Waltz. Interestingly, actually, I loved the first piece, Round and Round. But when I heard a Lover's Waltz, I fell in love with it, just because I can easily relate to this song and to the rhythm, because when I was little, I used to do ballroom dancing, and Viennese waltz was one of those dances that I loved, just swinging around in circles with long dresses, and it just kind of brought me those amazing memories back in childhood. So this piece was one of my favorite ones, even though I really liked the first one, but this one seems to be close to my heart.
My favorite song from this album would be Round and Round. It is a rather small piece compared to the other songs from the album, but it gives me the biggest impact emotionally, because it really reminds me of a experience where there was one time in life where I feel like I don't belong anywhere. I was struggling with myself. I was questioning my life purpose. I feel like people don't understand me, and really I literally just don't like everything about myself. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, because we all went through the same experience at one point in our life. And this song really evoked that emotions, not in a bad way, because now when we went through the whole thing, we look back, we will be able to understand happiness. We can be grateful of life because we have experienced the opposite side of happiness, which is the sadness, the dark side in our life. So this song is like a reminder that we all went through such a hard time in life, but that what gives our life meaning and something to be grateful for. So yeah, it is a rather simple song, but really biggest emotional impact. Well, I love this song.
Interestingly, when I checked out the album on Spotify, the first song that I heard was Colors of Life, and to be honest, I really enjoyed this piece in particular because it really resonated with me on so many different levels, and it immediately reminded me of my own life, going through all the different stages so far that I've been through. My childhood, growing up, my teenage years, and then now, being an adult, and all the good times, the challenging times, and the music reminded me so much of all these things that I've been through and I'm still going through. So thank you, Wani, for creating this lovely piece of work. Another piece which really stood out for me was Chermin, and it was interesting because I've rarely heard any piano music play something that sounds almost Asian, and I recognize that the melodies that Wani chose was similar to that of the Javanese Balinese scale, and so that was something that really caught my attention, and I really appreciated how would I put it, Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach style of writing the melodies, the right hand and the left hand, and these were the two pieces that really stood out for me, and I really enjoyed it so much. Thank you, Wani, and wishing you all the best.
I think the piece in the album that I can relate the most to would be the last piece, I think, which is Hope. Of course, it doesn't just remind me of the composer Philip Glass, and he's one of my favorite composers, by the way. So it also reminds me of life itself, where there's always something to look forward to, no matter what happens in life or no matter what's happening. Even though you feel like you're having the worst day in your life, there's always a better day that's coming tomorrow or later, right? So it reminds me of that. Like you need to always be positive and always have that attitude where you really want to make things better, and you always want to look forward to better things, to a better day.
So one of my favorite songs from the album is the second song in the album, the EP. It's Chermin. It's a very introspective and also a very reflective song of one's nature, and the performance by the pianist is extremely dynamic and extremely melodic, and I really like the sound of the piano which they used, which they recorded. Other than that, the whole album is actually very hard to choose from. I had to actually go back and look at the songs to finally decide which one I actually love. Just a side note, the album recording is also extremely beautiful. I love how the layers form together and the pieces just really glue together. So please do listen to Melodies of Life. It's on all major streaming platforms. So yes, do support local music. Thank you.
So my favourite song on the album is Round and Round. It's exactly the kind of thing that I like. It went straight in my playlist. I found it to have this sort of really melancholic, peaceful acceptance to it, which I think is really unique, and it just kind of reminds me of being stuck at a train station and watching all these trains coming and going, but you can't get on any of them, and you know where you want to go, but you don't know how to get there. And it's not necessarily feeling lost, but just really stuck, and you're just having to watch life go by quietly and just hope that it ends. It's really quite nostalgic. I've certainly had moments like that, and I guess the point of the album is that it's an aspect of life. It's going to happen again. Life isn't all good, it isn't all bad, and it feels quite observational but quite heartfelt as well. So it's really nice. I'll probably be listening to it for many years to come. So, and yeah, I look forward to more stuff. Well done, Wani.